You mentioned to me yesterday that like I think is so freaking important. I want to kind of dive back into a little bit here. Is you were saying, you know, you knew you wanted to own your business, right? But you didn't feel like you were ready to do it on your own yet. So you worked for somebody for a while, right? And that's kind of like what you were telling me yesterday when we were working with Rocco, that fear aggressive dog. And you're like, I really want to get into working with aggression cases and dogs like this, but how do I do it in a way that's ethical, right? And, you know, I know we kind of chatted about it a little bit, but I want to dive into that conversation a little bit more for people that are listening. So when you said that, can you kind of explain to everybody like what you meant by that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to work with aggressive dogs, but there's the thought in the back of my head that, I mean, there's also a small thought of what if I mess this dog up worse? What if I make things worse by trying to figure out how to help?
Sure.
But also, what if I don't help? What if I make no progress whatsoever? Ethically, I don't feel like I can charge them for essentially having done nothing. Yes, worked for a good amount of time with the dog, but having gotten nowhere. That battle of charging for my time, but then not charging for no results.
Yeah. And is that kind of the same? Is that a similar kind of thing going on in your head as far as when you were getting ready to start your business? Like, how was that different or the same to that?
No, I mean, I'd had plenty of, well, you mean when I did start it or
No,
when I
wanted... when you said you knew you wanted to start a business, but you weren't ready. You didn't feel like you were ready for it.
Yeah. So I think it was a hard thing for me to justify being able to train, mainly like one-on-one sessions, train someone how to train their dog when I'd only ever trained 4.
Sure.
I haven't had enough cases to know instinctually what should happen right there because I haven't tried everything in the moment. So I needed to have the experience with a whole bunch of like one-on-one sessions, but mainly board and trains of actually physically handling the dog, all types of dogs, all types of situations, before I feel like I could coach someone through those scenarios.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think it's interesting because I think for newer trainers, I think in some cases board and trains can be easier for them because they don't have that additional pressure of like eyeballs on them. And you need to coach them through it. And you can kind of experiment a little bit and figure out what's going to work with that dog and then feel confident knowing when you go into the send home lesson, I've figured it out with this dog, right? So I can coach you through it. One-on-ones, I remember for me, when I first started getting into training, were always the hardest, and I think for that exact reason. You know what I mean? Like it's so difficult to be able to do things on the fly and know where and when to make adjustments, and if things start going wrong, how to fix it. And you know, on top of all of that, multitasking of like communicating and developing a good relationship with the person and explaining what you're doing as you're doing it. And man, that could get so tough. And I just remember feeling very early on, very, very confident in the board and trains that I was putting out. But my one-on-ones, I always second guess myself with it. Like I would get that like big time anxiety feeling going into every single one-on-one that I would do, you know? And that took a while to get past. That was a tough one for sure.
Yeah.